Hi, I'm Dr. Khurrum Shaukat Yusafzai. Today's video is about the problems faced by hyperbaric medical practitioners like me when they're doing hyperbaric medicine clinical practice. Because the clinical practice of hyperbaric medicine has a lot of challenges. So let me give you these challenges one by one. So the first one is the very expensive hyperbaric chambers. The hyperbaric chamber industry is a big one. It is found in the United States of America. It's also found in Germany, and it used to be there in the Britain. It is there in the manufacturing hub of the world in the People's Republic of China, and also in some other countries in Russia, South America, etc., etc. But the thing is that the prices of hyperbaric chambers are really very high. And because of this really high prices, the engineers they earn a lot of money. And when they earn a lot of money, they deny the opportunity of practice to the clinical practitioners of hyperbaric medicine because if the chambers are too expensive, it will be difficult to have chambers in the hospitals, the clinics, or even at homes of the patient who require it for a very long period of time, like for example, for a year or so, they will not be able to buy it. But the profiteers are the engineers, not the doctors in this challenge. The second biggest challenge faced by the hyperbaric practitioner is the belief that hyperbaric medicine is alternate medicine. No, it is not alternate medicine. It is basically a new specialty of hyperbaric medicine. There is a textbook of hyperbaric medicine. Now it has the seventh edition, and there is also a textbook of diving medicine, second or third edition now. So there are two textbooks. There are more than hundreds of reference books written by different doctors and the scientists in the medical and allied health. And there are more than a million database of the research articles about hyperbaric medicine. So it is a new specialty of the medical. And there are licensed doctors who have license to practice as hyperbaric medicine. They are specialists. They are also consultants, and they have master degrees after their basic bachelor degrees as a doctor. The third biggest challenge we face as hyperbaric practitioners are the malafide behavior of the fellow doctors. Like, I'm not talking about the hyperbaric doctors, I'm talking about the other doctors like the general practitioners and the specialists. They call themselves doctors and they practice clinical medicine. And when my patients go to them, or patients, anybody who wish to undergo hyperbaric oxygen therapy, they would tell them, no, hyperbaric therapy will not cure you. And they tell the patient with such a confidence, although they have never seen a hyperbaric chamber in all their life. Like, they have never seen a hyperbaric chamber in their life. They don't know how it operates, they don't know its effects, they are not qualified in it, but they will be gladly telling the patients this will not work. So if you're calling yourself a scientist or a doctor of medicine and with a science background, you should not be talking or giving wrong information with such a confidence to the patients. So why this behavior happens in the medical doctors? The reason is that their lack of knowledge. Their lack of knowledge is because when they're becoming a doctor, they would read a chapter on hyperbaric medicine during their first and second year of becoming the medical student. There is a physiology textbook called the textbook written by Guyton, which is actually read in most of the medical colleges around the world. There is a chapter on hyperbaric medicine. After they read it, some doctors don't even read it because they think the in exam the questions will not come from hyperbaric medicine chapter, so they skip it, and then they would never read about it. Sometimes when they read the medicine or surgery, there is some mention about hyperbaric medicine and the research articles and the benefits in the different diseases and the ailments. They would read that line, but they will forget it conveniently. So the lack of knowledge is the biggest problem for hyperbaric practitioners, and the solution is the invitation of the hyperbaric specialist or consultant to the medical colleges, and they giving them lectures and increasing their knowledge. So that is one solution. The role of FDA. FDA is Food and Drug Administration. It's a US based private organization which controls the food and the drugs and also the machineries which are used in the medical practice. And this organization is funded privately by the medical companies. The medical companies, I mean those who makes the drugs. So the drug companies, if you look at their budget, it comes from the drug companies who make antibiotics or other drugs and all kind of drugs. So there is a institutional bias in the Food and Drug Administration of the USA because FDA also gives money for research to the medical universities, and most of the research about hyperbaric medicines are is happening in the medical universities. And when the research happens under the clinicians, it's published in the research magazines, and after it's peer reviewed and analyzed scientifically, then they go into the medical textbooks which are taught to the students. And there is a problem and a flaw in this system because the financier or the budget is coming from these drug companies, and these drug companies don't like hyperbaric medicine because there is no drug involved when you perform hyperbaric medicine. It's just the machine and the oxygen and the different environmental changes it produces, and the different effects the effects on the human body which alters the physiology and it produces the beneficial effect. So if FDA gives this money to the medical universities, then there would be more research and more information coming about the hyperbaric technology and its benefit to the world, and the world can benefit from it. In the United States of America, because America is a big country and lot of medical researches are happening there, and since FDA is controlling them, so there is this institutional bias against hyperbaric medicine and maybe similar technologies as well. Then is the role of medical insurance companies. In the United States of America, when a person goes to a hospital, the after hospitalization, the money is paid by the medical insurance companies. Their name is Medicare and Medicaid. So these companies are actually private. They are not funded by the United States government. If a person is doing a job, he gives like a premium and he pays, and if he earns well, he can afford a good medical insurance, and he can go to any good hospital and take treatment. So the medical insurance companies, they have a bias against hyperbaric oxygen therapy because the amount of money they allot for medical emergencies, because the FDA says that Medicare and Medicaid will only pay for 14 indications, and if you go to the list of 14 or 16 medical indications, they are all emergencies. They are not treatment for certain ailment. They are emergencies, like for example carbon monoxide poisoning, or you have blood loss, or you have some wound which is not healing and it will cause your uh, limb or foot to be cut, and things like that, so if you go through the list you will understand, like carbon, like hydrogen sulfide poisoning, cyanide poisoning, etc., etc. So these emergencies are paid by the Medicare and Medicaid. They will not pay for like treatment of autism or treatment of cancer or treatment of PTSD, etc., etc. Although there are plenty of research articles and there are benefits, but they will not pay for it. And they have a reason for doing that, because they say it's not like a really EBM disease, like EBM disease. They mean that there is a like a standard or a system which says that these diseases are have a clinical relevance, and they have a proof that this disease is cured. These diseases which are liable to be cured but they are not in the list, people pay cash for it. And this is the reason, because in the cash treatment in America, it is as high as $300 per session, or maybe $500 when there is a physician present. So this is a lot of money, and because of this lot of money, not anybody can afford. And if you have insurance and still you're giving cash, it does not make sense for long term treatment. And because the FDA only mandates that EBM or evidence based medical diseases, that's why it's called EBM, evidence based medical diseases, they will only pay for that. And like the same list is not agreed upon in the continent of Europe, because the Europe has more than 40 diseases which are paid by the insurance companies. Similar is case of Asia, where there is Japan, where there is Korea, there is Singapore, and there are a lot of developed countries over here where the list is as big as 60. And if you go to Israel, the list is even more than 60. So Russia and China also has like more than 60 elements which are free to be treated by the hyperbaric chamber, but not in the United States of America. It's really behind than the rest of the world, and it's sticking to the list of 14. The reason is that in the past, the America had a big problem with the banks, and there was a big financial meltdown. You would remember, like the Wells Fargo and the banks all dissolving, and then the U.S. government had to save the insurance companies and the banks. They had to dish out the taxpayer money to save them. So that is the reason the insurance companies are still in financial difficulties. Although they're making a lot of money, they have big bonuses for the chief executive officers and those who are on the board of directors, but they will not pay for like cancer. They will not pay for certain diseases which are, of course, killing the people, but they will stick to their very tight criteria, denying the people right of treatment. And the last is the paucity of hyperbaric chambers globally. Globally, the hyperbaric chambers are very few because of the reasons I mentioned above. Like America, the multi chambers are as few as less than 400, which is even less than the Japan or Korea hyperbaric chamber, which are small countries, but they have more chambers than the continent of America. Similar is the case with China and Russia. They have a lot of hyperbaric chambers in their hospitals and they're giving it to their people, but not in America. So the paucity of the hyperbaric chamber creates a special problem for the hyperbaric practitioner, because the hyperbaric practitioner, he has to write a prescription, and when he writes the prescription he has to refer the patient to go to a nearest chamber, which may be in a hospital or a clinic. And not every hospital in not every city in not every place is available, so that creates a big problem for the hyperbaric practitioners. And most of the hyperbaric practitioners, even having a medical degree, they have switched on to other specialities like some are medical specialists, they will go to the medical specialist. Some are emergency medical, having additional degree, they will go to emergency medicine, or some of them are in the administrative positions, or maybe general practice. So these kind of things creates challenges, and that is the reason in America there are very few hyperbaric doctors, also in the Europe, and also in the Asia. So globally, it's a rare specialty, and that is why I'm doing online consultations, so that I can help the people globally all around the world. And if you want to know more about this, you can leave a comment. I will be gladly able to answer you. And if you want a consultation, I will leave the contact details below the video and also at the end of video. And I hope you like my video, because I have made this video after a lot of research and lot of hard work. So there is should be a like, and also uh, subscribe to the channel, because without that, in the billions of the videos in YouTube, you will not be able to find me again. So you have to subscribe, and also press the bell icon, so that you know the notification for the new video is given to you, and we meet again. And thank you very much for watching the video. Take care. Goodbye.